Hello, how y'all doing? Hello. How you guys doing? So we're waiting on our guest. It's gonna be on the screen in a little bit. Thank you all. Please share the broadcast. Show me, show me, show, show me, show me, show. How you all doing? Share the broadcast. Let's do some another day of Bush Lion broadcast. No more Agberoism. No more Godfatherism. Hey there, Kefe. How are you? Are you on? Oh, I sent you the link to come on the broadcast. Did you check your email? I sent you a link on your email. Okay, it should be on the email now, so you can pretty much log in. So, how's everyone doing? We're waiting on our guests. So, today we have so many things we're going to be talking about. I'm on the phone with the guest right now. He's going to be joining the screen in a minute here. So, oh, on your email? Did you check your email? Oh, hold up a second here. So, give me a minute, second, guys. Just a second. Yeah, it's all liberty, right? At gmail.com. Yeah, it should be on there already. Yeah, refresh your screen. So it's coming directly from my email. So it should check, and we should be having you on in a minute. So we have YouTubers watching, and we have our guest from on Facebook as well. So share the broadcast if you've not shared yet. Sure, I could definitely send it. Yeah, I could definitely send it again. So O Liberty, okay, Leberty, right? Oh, Leba. Okay, hold up a second. So Olebar, right? Ty at gmail.com. That was probably the reason why we couldn't get it. So share the broadcast. Yeah, you should be receiving it now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So just log on. Yeah. Once you get in, log on, and you don't have to go to your Facebook. Just log in from the link, and we should be good. All right. Oh, good. So yeah, just click on the link, and you should be right on the screen. Yeah. So okay. So if you're just tuning in and you have not shared this broadcast, please, I want you to share because we're going to be having a lot to talk about today. It's going to be an awesome broadcast. We're going to talk about Agberoism and the reason why a lot of the youths are tuning in with our amiable governor, Godwin Obaseki. We're going to be talking about social power. We're going to be talking about Pastor Ize Iyamu. Um, can you all hear me? Can you hear the volume? I think I have this one on. This should be better. So can you hear me better now? Can you hear me? Just type yes if you can hear me. So, so if you've not shared this broadcast, I want you to share. This is about our future here. Okay. So go ahead and share the broadcast. Let's do this quick while we wait on our guest. So, um, first on the agenda. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, good. It's no coincidence that youths, Edo youths, the young generation all over the world, are all keying in with Godwin Obaseki. It ain't no coincidence. We're going to be talking about Pastor Ize Iyamu. What is Pastor Ize Iyamu's resume? Oh, thank you, Bobby. What's on Pastor Ize Iyamu's resume? Pastor Ize Iyamu, Yahoo, Pastor Ize Iyamu has no political resume. He has no political know-how whatsoever. The only achievement Pastor Ize Iyamu has is political appointment. Political appointment by no. It's called no politics. I know you, you know me. A pastor who does not have a church is called Yahoo pastor. A pastor who does not have a brick, a foundational brick to show to his constituents. As the chief of staff, I think SSG or whatever he was to Governor Lucky Igbenedion, what can Lucky Ize Iyamu show to us to prove that he is competent? What has he done? Absolutely nothing. Other than empowering crooks, criminals. Just a second, guys. Yes, kiddo. Oh, okay. So it's broken. Okay, let me send it to you again. So, guys, 1 second here. Give me a second. Let me send it to my. Yeah, I think I know why it was broken. So, just a second. Let me send. Oh, shoot. Did I just... 1 second, guys. 1 second. Please be patient. Just a second. Let me invite you again, okay? Yeah. So, just a second. We're inviting our guests. Sorry, guys, it's a little bit of delay. We should have done this earlier, but it's all good. So, while the email is coming up, just give me 1 second, guys. I need to do this real quick. Okay. Email him. Uh-huh. Okay, yep. Okay. Yep. So you should get it right now, okay? So I'm gonna go back to streaming. All right, thank you. Yeah. So sorry about that, guys. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we should be right on point, as we're using a software that I'm trying to get familiar with it. It's a little bit complex. YouTubers, those, if you're on YouTube, please share this broadcast. If you're on Facebook, share the broadcast. How many people do we have on Periscope? We have about 300 people on Periscope, about 100 people more on Facebook and YouTube. So we're moving. So what does Ize Iyamu, what does he have to show? What is his resume? Absolutely nothing. Ize Iyamu wants to take us back to the days of analog, when the government of the day empowered political criminals and political thugs. When the Agberos in the community, in the society, were empowered. Is that the kind of days we want to go back to? Are we trying to go back to Agberoism? Just a second. Are we trying to go back to Agberoism when Edo State revenue was sinking? The IGR, internal generated revenue for Edo State, when Ize Iyamu was in Edo State government. Hold up a second. Admin, please. You're in timeout. Back when Ize Iyamu was in government, the IGR was what? On a monthly basis. We have the data. Oh, there's no link. So guys, be patient. I'm trying to bring in the guest. He said there's no link. Oh, we'll get it taken care of. Yes, did you get a link? No link again? Okay, just give me a second again. Let me do it again, okay? The email came, but there was no link. Okay, so just give me a second. I'm gonna resend it to you. Oh, you are right. I did not add a link. My bad. That was my fault. I'm sorry. So, okay, you should get it now. Okay. Okay, so you should get it now, okay? All right, yeah. See you soon. Okay. So, the days of Agberoism, when we empowered political criminals, when we empowered thugs, it's over. The IGR, internal generated revenue, during the time of Osage Ize Iyamu, this is what Osage Ize Iyamu want to continue in Edo State. And Edo people are now saying no. Back when Ize Iyamu empowered the Agberos, yeah, one meet them downstairs, okay? When Ize Iyamu in 2011, later, when Ize Iyamu back in 2011 was in government, prior to Godwin Obaseki being a governor, Edo State collected 17 million naira internally generated revenue, 17 million naira in 2011, 18 million naira in 2012, 18 million naira in 2013. Okay, I have my guest here. Hi, Okenfe, how are you?
Hey.
Hi, you got your mask on. How are you? Take your mask off.
Good.
Can you take your mask off?
I know, I will.
Yeah, take it off. You
Hey,
know.
man. Hey. Hey.
Okay,
Social distancing, man.
Yeah, I can see it. So
can you see me though? Can you see my video?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah,
me?
I think if you can see the guest on the screen, guys, please type yes so we can know that the guest is.
I can see see you, but yours is a little.
It's a little bit okay. Let me see here. Okay, just give me a second and I'll see. I'll verify. So
I can. Okay, all right. It's getting. I can see you, but it's getting. I think it's static somehow.
It's static. Okay, it should be.
I can hear you very well. I can hear
very
you
well. Okay. This side is perfect. So, Okenfe, I'm gonna do a quick introduction of you. Okenfe is a good friend of mine from. I think we went to kindergarten, primary school, secondary school. We left Nigeria the same year. Right?
How time flies, man.
Yeah, we left Nigeria the same year. We were best friends in secondary school back in the days when we were in Nigeria. We left Nigeria and we've lived together in the US for like a year plus, right? Yeah, we lived together.
Yep.
So we've been good friends. You know, Okenfe is a little bit smarter than me, right? You have the master's degree.
Please.
Well, we're gonna be jumping right into the nitty-gritty of today's broadcast. Okay, that's a lot better. So yeah, yours is a little bit static. Okay, that's good now. So we're talking about Pastor Ize Iyamu, you know, who is part of the APC faction. We're going to talk about direct and versus indirect voting or primaries. Okay, I saw you wearing a mask earlier. You know, I know you're practicing social distancing. You know, considering the influence of social distancing on politics, what would you say about direct versus indirect primaries in APC as we speak?
Oh man, I mean, you know, it's a little how should I put this? You know, with every elections, right? And I think it also has to depend on who the godfathers are, the folks that are participating in the elections, the constituents and whatnot. You know, one way or the other, there is always an advantage and disadvantages, right? To all kinds of election. But I think what is important to note is that Nigeria is a bit different, right?
Yeah.
In the sense that the way people, or rather the way the powers that be tends to run their elections, right? They do it based on what is going to favor their particular candidate.
Exactly.
And so that's what makes it relatively hard to kind of discern, you know, if a direct primaries or indirect primaries is right, because you know, say the past 4 years, right? Say for example, I was running for an election, and 4 years ago there was an indirect primary, right?
Right.
And I benefited from that, right? And
Yes.
then 4 years later, there's a direct primary that's not going to benefit me, right?
Right.
And then I'll start crying
Right.
that,
Right.
oh my God, this doesn't favor me. So in the case of Nigeria, it's kind of it's hard to tell because
Right.
at the end of the day, the kind of elections over there, right, favors one person against the other, right? It's a little bit different from the way it is done over here, right?
That is
Although there are some elements of that, but
right.
at the end of the day, it's all about favoritism.
Okay.
You
So,
know what I'm
but
saying? So,
considering, I'm talking about considering the current pandemic and the situation of the coronavirus in Benin
hmm
specifically,
hmm
would you recommend? Don't you think it would be better for indirect primaries?
let me throw it back to you first. What do
Okay.
you think?
Personally, okay,
hmm
I feel indirect primaries would be more conducive. Okay, knowing that we have a global problem here,
hmm
and also, do we have the facilities? Should the case, right now, the Godwin Obaseki, has been able to manage the virus, the pandemic, to its minimum. We have a significantly low new cases and you know and whatnot in Benin as we speak. You know, knowing that they've been practicing
hmm
social distancing, wearing of the mask and whatnot. So, should we put the emphasis on the pandemic and do direct primaries, or should we take the emphasis of the pandemic and do indirect primaries? I personally, I would say indirect primaries would be best at this time. You know,
because with the indirect primary, you get a situation whereby, in this case, the governor will probably do relatively well
right,
because it's literally an election where the direct primary means is
right.
where most of the people are actually going to go out and do the voting.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about next. We want to talk about Agberoism in those states. Okay,
But let's talk about that, and then we should definitely go back to that indirect and direct
we're
primary
gonna
that you
yes,
mentioned
yeah, we're gonna go
a
back to
little
it.
bit because right because with the direct and indirect primaries and putting it in the context of what is currently happening in the states,
Right,
it's obvious that Shomole favors a certain kind of primary election,
right,
and the governor favors a certain kind of primary election, right?
right, right,
And each of them wants to play to their strengths, and and
right,
and this is something that I have said on numerous occasions, right?
right.
In that the outcome of this election is going to depend on how the governor is able to settle his beef with the APC national chairman,
That is
right?
right.
So
Hmm.
let's leave it at that, and then we'll come back.
Okay, so we all know what the situation was back when
hmm
Oshomole empowered, Togri, Agbero.
Yes.
I had family members who were micro business people at the various markets, Oba Market, Akiwa, Uselu Market. We have all these markets in Benin. And you
hmm
know how the Agberos did it back then. It was brutal.
Of course. My
They
mom used to my mom used to sell meat, what they call the llama at
Lama.
the market. You remember
I
we
remember you
we
used to
used
go
to
meet
go
mommy at
over
the
there
market. I remember that.
now.
So,
My guy here man yeah, all the time. I'm finishing the
Mali
food there.
Ariaki, Mali
I
yes,
am with you.
yeah, exactly. So, ubege we na ve gave zedokere. Ubege
Okay.
we na va gbero ya you when e bola vi yi ma kibi. Ubege ni.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
All in the name of collecting revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, if not pass Kiki Unia, huh? And other
Yeah.
voting Ize Iyamu is going to take us back to those dark days, those horrible times when our mothers, if not
Mm-hmm.
pass
Koboko.
you right now, right? We went to Benin recently.
Mm-hmm.
Ubek I say Kenya, ave yan collecting revenue yan POS a machine aya collecting agi you want
which is good.
Our aunties with business key. Okay. Moreover, the revenue collected back again, Agbero now collected revenue. It's like night and day.
Of course, absolutely.
In terms of the revenue, the money that was being collected from, revenue. Back, as I was reading earlier, okay, let me put it this way. Back in 2012, the IGR, internally generated revenue for those states, was 18 million naira annually. 18 million naira.
Yes.
Now, 2013, 18 million. 2014, it was 17 million. 2015, 17 million. How come Obaseki office internally generated revenue went straight to 25 billion? So they've never Agberoism now. Don't you think somebody should be liable? Don't you think those who were collecting this revenue should be probed by the governor? And why is there so much gap in the money?
Go ahead. So let's put this in context a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And as you rightly said, I think is clear that everyone, all citizens of those states, and we are in Redo, many can complain about Agberoism. The Ring Road, the New Bini, all those stuff. So people were tired of it, right?
Yes.
And obviously, what was clear from even looking back from the Igbenedion days, how because when you look at, I think Igbenedion from 99 or something like that. So when you look at the Igbenedion days coming in, they use the issues of Agbero to basically gain more political power.
Right.
And then when Shomola came in, was also the issue of using Agbero to gain political power. Correct? And at the same time, it's the same thing that's happened in other states as well. Using Agbero and talk to gain political power.
Yes.
No, so I think putting all this in context in terms of what is happening now with the governor, right?
Yes.
Obviously, there needed to be some kind of reform to be made so that the state can actually get its internally generated revenue. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Right.
But I think what people are saying though is that the governor used this Agbero to get into power.
You're talking about Oshomole, right?
No, from Oshomole and the current governor.
Okay, go ahead.
He came in. Oshomole did his own, and through the help of some of this Agbero, Obaseki was also able to come into power because these so-called folks were loyal to Oshomole.
Okay.
Right? And in turn, they automatically supported the governor Obaseki and used all their power and whatever and whatnot to support him and come into office.
Right.
So now, as a politician, when he came into office, apparently something happened along the way, right? Whereby I think he wanted to do some things, and there was resistance from certain segment of the population, right? From the word that you use, quote unquote, the Agberos. And that is the issue we are now, right? So some people might say, look, if you use this so-called Agbero to come into power, then you get into power and you discarded them, right? Just like when Oshomola was coming into power, he used all those bike folks to get in power. And then when he got into power, he disbanded the bikes, the Okada folks.
Yes.
Like just like rat
Just
dogs.
a kind of a quick input here. Okay.
Okay.
You know, in the U.S., we're going to use the U.S. as a classical example. We have the IRS,
Absolutely.
okay, Internal
Yes.
Revenue Service. The
Absolutely.
IRS only employs, you know, CPA, certified public accountants, who
Absolutely.
do auditing and whatnot. You know what I mean? And revenue
Yes.
collection. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What qualification do these Agberos have to become revenue collectors in Edo State?
So they don't, right?
Okay.
That goes without question. They don't, but it is the political reality and the political system that brought these people to play,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was because of all these political reasons,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the issues were not settled in a political way. So that's why you're having all these issues, right, that have been percolated. Because my understanding, and you got to realize I'm not there and looking from afar, my understanding is that these folks help him to get into power.
Mm-hmm.
And just as you're looking at Nigerian politics, people, hey, I helped you, and you got to do this, you got to do that, one hand watching the other, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that there should have been a political solution to this, right?
Right.
Now, the governor has every right to
Mm-hmm.
do his kind of reforms
Right.
that he wanted to put in place. Now,
Mm.
those reforms should have been in place, right? Those reforms which are currently in place is something that I wholeheartedly support. But that is speaking of the policy level, right? Because when you're
Right.
looking at political system, there
Right.
is the politics
Mm-hmm.
and then there is the policy.
Yes.
And I think everybody will go give the governor a high marks on the policy aspect
On
and
policy
everything that he's doing.
and governance and policies, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But on the politics is where he's having the issues. And the politics
Mm-hmm.
is giving him problems.
Okay.
So if he's getting problems on the political level,
Yes.
is making it a lot difficult for him to work on the policy aspect.
Okay. So now we have the politics and the policy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the policy is on a smooth sail. Okay. The policies.
Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You know, he got it
He's
on
trying, yes.
the policy level. Governor Obaseki got it. So on the
Mm-hmm.
political level, that's where there's a little bit of bumps. And
that's where people are saying is messing up.
Right. And the bumps there, we all know where it's coming from.
Of course.
Oshomole was the person against Godfatherism, right?
Mm-hmm.
He fought against Godfatherism.
When he suited him.
Yeah, he came online on the media, on televisions, and pretty much, you know, talked at. It was pretty much. I'm trying to be very careful with my choice of word, but he said his choice of words were not so diplomatic while he was addressing the Esama of Benin, Igbenedion, right?
Uh-huh.
And so many others where, you know, he had a stand and he was being firm in his quest to stop Godfatherism.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have Godwin Obaseki as the governor, right?
Mm-hmm.
What don't you think it would have been better if Oshomole had chosen to stay away from being macro manager of the politics in Edo State? Because considering the politics and the policies,
do we know the deal that the governor and Oshomole made? Why? Because if you realize, right, even the current governor was not supposed to be the nominee, right? I think what is the other guy's name, Obudu or something to that effect.
Yes.
He was put to the side by Oshomole, who handpicked our current governor. Right. So were there deals or some sort of a gentleman's agreement that they made that the current governor made with Oshomole?
Right.
Right. because again, everything ties back in,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oshomole's boys helped Obaseki win the election.
Right.
That is a fact. I don't think anybody can deny that,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a gentleman's agreement between these two governors
Okay. Between
that
Oshomole
was
and
made between Oshomole and Obaseki? Do we
okay.
know that? So we don't have those information
Okay.
as of now.
Right.
Perhaps some people do. I could be wrong, but I don't know, right?
Yes.
And so when we start talking about Godfatherism and all this and all that, I've always said is that there's always got to be a method to the madness, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And the governor did not just come out of nowhere and became governor. Someone had to help him, right?
Right. Right.
Get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so was there some kind of an agreement between the governor and Oshomole that, hey, with the governor saying, look, I want to run the show by myself. I don't want you looking behind me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did Oshomole say, look, all right, I'm not going to look behind you. I'm not going to micromanage or try to do anything, but these are certain things that I want,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And in those discussions, did the governor fulfill his end of the bargain,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. What I do understand was that when the governor got elected, he came in, and
Yes.
all of a sudden, he began fighting with the Shomole's guys that helped him win the election.
Right. And I can kind of key into uh Oshomole. You know, I was once a critic of Governor Godwin Obaseki. I was a very strong critic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps, yes, our current governor did perhaps had some
A deal.
maybe
Did they make a deal?
there might have been a compromise, okay? But you know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we do make compromise, and when the reality sets in, you realize, you know, your integrity is worth more than the compromise. You
But you
understand?
had the integrity though when you're making a compromise, right?
Right, right.
I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
just calling
you
bosses
gotta have
right.
the
You
integrity
had the
when you make
same integrity
yes, you know, like I
when you're
said,
making a deal.
it is the harsh reality. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There are times we're gonna make compromise, not thinking about the after effect, and then upon making the compromise, and the reality sets in, and we realize, you know what, the conscience comes in. So what we're saying here, what is happening right now is that Governor Obaseki is working,
Of
okay,
course, without a doubt.
without a doubt. Okay.
Without a doubt. Mm-hmm.
The salaries of our pensioners are being paid.
Absolutely.
I'm going to
Which
come
is
back to
good.
where. I'm going to come back to where.
I remember when the pensioners back then. You remember when we go to school,
Wait,
right?
wait, wait. You remember? You know, my mom was a nurse at specialist hospital. She was a matron. There were
I
times,
know, and
you
right,
know,
that's what I'm saying. Remember
there were
back then
times
when we go
mommy
to school,
never
you
got
saw
paid
those
for
pensioners.
months.
They would line up in front of the bank.
Yeah, you remember when mommy never got paid for like maybe months, 6 months at a time, 7 months. She never
Uh-huh.
got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Obaseki is paying this pensioners. The civil servants are all getting paid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Despite that, there are construction all over the state, not just in Benin
Yes.
City. Okay, if you go to the villages,
Mm-hmm.
like the rural areas, there are construction projects going on. You know, little pockets of construction. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so he has this antenna spread, and mind you, Oshomola never did as much. Never did one, not even one. Let me say one.
Right. I don't think I don't think anyone is debating the work that the governor has done. Right.
Right,
I'm certainly not debating that. I
right.
know he's done quite a lot
Yes.
and in the little time that he's been there. I'm not debating that at all. And I also believe that he's got his heart in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Nobody's debating that.
Yes.
But I think that this would have been handled differently,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yes.
fight between the governor and the APC national chairman, right? Because they have histories together. When they were making their deals and whatnot, none of
Mm-hmm.
us were in the room. In the US, what we call the smoked the smoke filled boardroom or something to that effect. So
Mm.
none of us were in the room when they were making a deal. Now, when when the governor won the election and saw the state of finances and whatnot, or what was going on in the state, perhaps maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Just putting those qualifiers in there. Perhaps you should have a conversation with Oshomo and say, look, we've got to renegotiate. Because it's almost like the same thing that's been going on in the music industry, right? When people sign a contract, right? So back then, maybe you were working with Legacy's bands, right? Who was slamming Lily out here, and the talent. You've got that raw talent. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, this music exec sees you on the streets, like, hey, we're going to sing one laddie. Let me give you a musical deal.
Yes.
And then he says, sign this agreement. Because we're hungry, right? Right? In how many days? Maybe you were doing a 001 or even some days 000. And so you signed that deal, not understanding some of the intricacies involved in the deal. And then you sign the deal, you start making some money, right? And then you realize that instead of you to making $1 million, you're only making 250 grand.
Yes.
And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, what is going on here? Somebody's robbing me.
Yes.
In a situation like that, you go back and say, look, let's renegotiate. Right?
And I think that's a practical example of what is happening right now.
Right.
Between
so and the governor, I sincerely believe that this should have been handled differently.
Okay,
right?
So what would have been a better way?
And there are blames to go on both sides. Both sides. You can the blames can go around. Well, I think when Obaseki came in, I think the issue he faced was not handling the politics the right way. He got in within a few months. Everyone that helped him get elected, he just started going against all of them.
Right.
Everybody that helped him get elected became crazy. It should not have been handled that way. And those are the repercussions that he's facing now, because earlier on he never handled the situation the correct way.
Okay.
It should have been handled differently. And we know names. We know some of these guys, right? But we're not in the business of naming names, and so we're going to skip that for the day. He should have called his boys. He should have called the Shomoles boys, all of them, right? And say, look, something is going on. There are some things that I want to do. There are things that you guys want to do. I understand that, but how do we do this? And then put a plan in place. Put a plan in place that can eventually phase out this so-called Agbero.
Okay.
Right? Because what he ended up doing was making everyone unhappy. That's not politics.
Okay, so why I'm keen with the government, with the current administration, is not sentiment. Okay, I'm more
Nigerian politics. Nigeria. I think that's where people get set into it wrong. Nigerian politics is built. Nigerian politics is built on sentiments.
Right, but you see when I think of this now, okay. Before I was being sentimental, but now I'm looking at it from a more practical perspective, and also from a more.
But it doesn't remove the sentimentality aspect of it, though.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the financial aspect. Okay, looking at the treasury. Okay, should I say the outcome of eliminating Agberoism and whatnot. Okay, what are the outcomes? How have we improved? What have we achieved since we have decided to do away with Agberoism? Just a second. Guys. So what I'm saying is
We'll find out after the we'll find out after the election.
yes. No, what I'm saying is that now let's look at the now in our treasury.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about factual data. Okay, and look at prior to Godwin Obaseki taking office, how
Mm-hmm.
have we improved financially? How
There's just been
and
there
also
has been
how has,
improvement.
yeah, also how has the quality of life improved since Godwin Obaseki became a governor? Okay, those are the things that I look at, the quality of
that
life. Okay,
that reminds me of what. But go ahead, go ahead.
no, go
Just
ahead.
quickly before I forget that reminds me of what I believe it was Ronald Reagan who said that you're better off 4 years ago than you are today.
Right.
That that's just when you said that reminded me of that quote. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
So how has our quality of life improved? Okay, and are we willing to go back to retrograde to the way things were when the Agberos were in charge of everything? Or
The people has to decide that,
yeah,
right? But
just a second.
the
Hey,
question
Foster!
should be a car.
Sorry.
I said, when I'm by you, the car,
No. Go down. I'm on a live broadcast. Go down. Take her downstairs. Okay. Okay, leave her. Let her stay here. Hey, just a second, Jai. Plug this in for me, please. So, how has the quality of life improved? You see what I got to go through, man?
I know, man. Look, I go through that too, man. Look, that's why I'm doing this from the car.
Yeah, I know. You told me to go in the car, but I was like, I'm going to do it from home and whatnot. But anyways, so are we willing to sacrifice our progress in the name of political loyalty? Okay, or rather, you know, build on our progress?
Politics is a game, my brother.
Huh?
Politics is a game,
Yes, but
right?
what
But
I'm
the problem though is they're playing the game with the life of the ordinary citizens.
okay.
That's the problem, and and that's why I said earlier
Mm-hmm.
that if Oshomola and the governor were on the same page, right,
Mm-hmm.
this would have been a different story.
Yeah. Okay.
100% different story.
let me also ask another question. Why should Oshomole be relevant in this administration? Why he did 2 terms? Why should Oshomole be relevant?
From the
I think
grand
that's a
scheme of
legitimate question.
things,
Huh?
yes. From the grand scheme of things, right? So let me ask you a question: Is do you think Obama is relevant? Obama did 8 years, right?
Right.
Do you think Obama is relevant in Joe Biden's campaign?
Well,
No, my brother.
y-
Answer the question. Who do you think? Who do you think is helping Joe Biden call the shots behind the
well,
scenes?
yes, I understand. But
Right, he's still behind the scenes.
yes, I understand. Yeah, I know. I totally get what you're saying. But what we as Africans, okay, you got to understand the cultural influence. Aside from politics,
Totally.
we have cultural influence. Okay,
Hmm.
culturally and monetarily, our cultural influence and our greed. Okay, when Obama decides to help Joe Biden in politics, okay, there's a defined agenda. Am I correct?
They are on the same. They are on
They're
the
all on
same
the same page,
page.
but at the same time, there
They
are
are on the same
defined
page.
agenda, right? But
Absolutely.
yeah, but in terms of Edo State politics, not even Nigerian politics now. Let me say Edo State politics.
Hmm.
There might be defined agenda, but there's what we call ulterior motive, which is
You
always
know
going
what
to
it is.
be inevitable. As
You,
Africans,
you,
our DNA, ulterior motives are always going to be there. We might not
absolutely,
have.
but you know what it is, though.
Mhm,
You know what it is, right?
mhm.
We would not be having this conversation if Oshomola was not the APC national chairman.
Right.
Again, you like him or not, Oshomole, he's a master at politics.
Mm-hmm.
He's a master of this thing. Everybody else is kind of just learning. He's a master.
Yeah. It's a career
He was,
politician.
oh yeah, he was able to get himself into such a high political leadership
Mm-hmm.
on the federal level
Mm-hmm.
after he got out of the governorship mansion, so
Mm-hmm.
that he can have this power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just dangling this power and influence on
Mm-hmm.
other governors that are not necessarily in support of his ideas,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I keep going back to politics.
Okay.
You know, the governor should have made on the early on. I on my own, right? I
Mm-hmm.
believe that the governor Obaseki
Mm-hmm.
entered or got into unnecessary fights in the
Yes.
beginning of his term.
Yes.
Very, very unnecessary.
Okay.
Unnecessary
So.
fight. But I do understand, though. I do understand he was trying to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to prove a point that, yo, I'm the governor. Like, who the hell are you? You
Yes.
know, I call the shots,
Okay.
right?
Let
But
me.
you can never disregard the foot soldiers.
Okay.
The foot
So.
soldiers, regardless of who you are, the foot soldiers are going to give you problems.
Thank you. That's where Godwin Obaseki, that's where a lot of us are keen into Godwin Obaseki, because Godwin Obaseki is now doing away with the foot soldiers who are the Agberos. Let's call them who they are, the political thugs. Back in the day, we couldn't talk about politics like this. We couldn't talk about political candidates like this, because we were in fear of our life. You know, you'll be scared that when you say something, you get to Benin, you might be murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obaseki
Mm-hmm.
is saying when you have your Pia Yoto. Ni ya via
Mm-hmm.
yoto, ni ya mwe bato asi yoto, ni ya mwe
Yes.
osisi yoto, made in Oka made rifle. Or when you have your yoto, that don't get laptop in mobile, right? That don't get people. This is the new weapon right here, right?
Yes.
Social
Mm-hmm.
media,
Mm-hmm.
your electronic device. Put your battle axe down, put your cutlass down, put your machete down, get a pen and paper, write an article. Go online and influence your society. This is the new
school.
right here.
It's so my school 1 year.
What am I school? I do live video. When do even so Umada sa we do ke oti map man ore Texas ni ame map man ore Texas. E o yak boni no you.
We are here.
Uma yak boni. O yak boni kan ya.
I just remember a convention.
Ni ma e ga ma ye Canada ni abi.
We are Canada, yeah. We are the last one, Washington DC. Yeah, we are there.
Okay. E ma me do yak boni ye ni ya. Or like social media. O do a to ge man e ma ni ma ye school.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, boni. O do a to ge man ma ni ma ye school. You understand? Time me want another way of be go. You know? And a lot of these people, they are keen into his lies. You understand?
They need directions.
Yes.
They need directions, and they're being directed by somebody who doesn't have a direction on his own.
A man, exactly. They are being directed by a man who has no direction. You understand what I'm saying? So this is one of the core problems we're having. And then he's being able to channel the way these people are raising, and these people in turn calls home and also influence their family members. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, we ought to also be out here in full force. You know, also educating them where you don't have to listen to a man who has no direction. You understand? A man who has no he has no moral canon. You know what I'm saying? And he speaks from both sides of the mouth. This is the same person. This is the same man who called the FBI on Tony Kabaka. You have you seen that video online of the short man?
Yeah, I think I might have seen it.
Yeah, you know. So he called the FBI on Tony Kabaka, and then a few months later, he's the same person singing his praise. The same person said he was going to arrest Oshomole when he saw Oshomole's property at Iyamu. Iyamu, right? He went online ranting that he's gonna arrest Shomole, and he's going to take over the property. But anyway, let's
That
not.
was the talk of a
Yeah,
news.
yeah, that's the talk of another day. He's not the topic for today. But the talk of today is: do you see Obaseki being the next governor of Edo State?
You mean if I see him getting reelected?
Do you see him reelected? Yeah, being reelected.
Well, let me qualify this, right? Obviously, I think you're also aware I was that I helped out in his campaign.
Yeah.
In New York City while he was.
Oh yeah, I remember you took
here.
a picture with the governor that back when he was first coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, when doing his because because even at that time when I spoke to him, I really believed that he had. I believed in his agenda, I believed in his ideas, and I believed that he meant well for the state, and that still hasn't changed at all.
No.
It hasn't changed.
Yes.
So the issue I think he is facing now, right? And I think if he looks introspectively, he should be able to figure out and ask himself, how did I get here?
Yes.
Why am I fighting for my political life?
Right.
Should things have been done differently? Right? Should things have been handled differently? Should I have treated certain people differently?
Yes.
I mean, so this is the issue, and then this goes back to the direct and indirect primary that we're talking about earlier.
Right.
Under normal circumstances, right? In a sane environment, he should be cruising to re-election. He should be under normal, based on what he's done and his work. Under normal circumstances and in a sane society, he should be cruising to re-election.
Right.
But we're not having that conversation. We're having a conversation about direct and indirect primary because of politics.
Yes, we're talking direct versus indirect. What is it called? Direct versus indirect primaries. And also, we're also talking about Agberoism.
Right, because everything is interconnected, right? It's almost like a spider web. Everything's connected, right? It has that interconnectivity between them, right? None of these are mutually exclusive. It is not.
Yes. Okay. Wait.
They all connect. And so quickly, let me try to the best of my ability to see if I can answer your question.
Right.
Will he? I hope he wins the election. Right? But the issue that he's got to grapple with now is because of the politics where we are, right? That now he's no longer able to call the shots for the primary election.
Right.
That power has been taken away from him because of the politics.
Right.
He should have had it. When the Shomole did his re-election, nobody had this conversation. Or Shomole called the shots. So at this point in time, Obaseki should have been calling the shots.
Yes.
Of what kind of primary election would happen.
Excuse me, just a second. Can you guys cut it off, please? Yeah, go ahead.
But because of the rookie mistakes, that is now affecting him. So that's why Oshomole is not calling the shot. He made a lot of rookie mistakes that he should not have made.
Just a second. Hey, excuse me. Please, I'm doing a live video here. Fosa, you guys go downstairs. Okay.
So he made a lot of rookie mistakes that he should not have made. Now it's almost as if the election is no longer in his hands. It looks up in the air. We shouldn't be having a conversation about Ize Iyamu coming back to run for office.
Okay.
Right? We shouldn't have been having that conversation. What created that opportunity for somebody like that to come back in and run an election?
Yeah. So, okay, I have another question for you, okay? Okay. Well, The other question is,
Mm-hmm.
would you vote for a pastor who does not have a church? Would you vote for a pastor who does not have a church? I wouldn't. Huh? Would you
Well,
would you vote for a pastor that does
I'm
not have a
not.
church?
I'm not a card-carrying member of any of the political party.
Yes.
So maybe that is the best answer I can give.
Okay. Okay. Also, another question. You've not answered my question, but I'm going to build on it. Right? A pastor who has
Okay.
a church, right? You don't have the ability to unite people. You know, being a pastor means being a leader, being able to, bring people together. You know what? Being a shepherd. How do you bear
Mm-hmm.
the title of being a shepherd without having a flock?
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot manage your title, how are you going to manage the state, the entire state, the whole of those states?
Mm-hmm.
How is that going to be possible when you cannot even manage a ministry?
That's the question they need to have for him during the debate. Are they going to have any primary debates?
Right. I'm pretty positive there's going to be some sort of debate. Yeah. So, Ize Iyamu does not have the resume. I believe Godwin Obaseki has the resume, considering his educational background. Okay.
We've seen his work.
Yeah, and he was very influential in
Shomola's administration.
Somalia's administration. Okay, in terms of financial planning and financial management. So, and we have also seen how he has implemented his studies or his expertise in the current in his current administration, right? So, don't you think it will be more progressive for Edo people all over the world to join hands together, whatever it takes, to bring back continuity of Godwin Obaseki's current administration?
Yeah, I do, but again, it goes back to the politics, right? It's not in people's hands,
right?
Because of the inability
Mm-hmm.
of the governor
Mm-hmm.
and the APC national chairman to get it together. That choice has been taken away from the good people of Edo State.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep going back to the politics.
Mm-hmm.
We should not have been having this conversation. This situation should have been handled differently, and it's something that I have said on multiple occasions. Right, that the governor needed to squash his beef with the APC national chairman by any means necessary, so that he can cruise into his second term and continue the work that he was doing.
Right. Somebody just
Obviously,
said here that it's our collective duty to bring back Obaseki. Right here, let me see. It says, I think it says great smart. It says it's our collective duty to bring back Obaseki. Yes, you are absolutely right. So we need to
totally, but is it in his hands though? That's what I'm saying. It's not in his hands anymore, because now you got to go through a primary election where the system of that primary election is going to be controlled by his arch enemy. How does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the determining factor whether or not Obaseki is going to come back is not being controlled by him. It's being controlled by the APC national chairman.
Yes.
And how is he going to finagle his way around that to make sure that he comes back as the nominee? Because with the kind of primary election that they're going to have, does he have the wherewithal? Does he have the funds, right, to be able to work with the other party faithful for them to nominate him, right? Because this is going to be in the hands of the party faithfuls. Half, if not majority of them, controlled by who?
Right.
Who controls these people?
Yeah. So
Does the government control these people?
yes.
Which is where the so-called Agbero
Mm-hmm.
comes in, because they have control of certain segment of the population.
Okay. So you see, that's why we have to the younger generations. I believe we are the millennials. Okay. We have to kick those analog brain out. The last broadcast I talked about PFM. When the guy in Texas
Freedom movement, is that what it's called?
yeah, when the guy in Texas first started that movement, we were a part of it initially, okay, and we thought he had the energy. We thought he had the no. Well, he was very vocal, even though he was not that intellectually intact.
Sound.
Yeah, he was not that sound intellectually. He was lacking the ability to be rational. He was lacking the ability, to be logical. So what we ought to do now, okay, is to bring everyone back again, okay, and we're going to be doing this. Well, we have successfully closed down that organization, PFM. Okay, we have closed PFM. And now, since last broadcast, a lot of people have contacted me from who were part of the PFM, have contacted me. We have a database now. We have a WhatsApp group. Okay. So now we're reformed Edo citizens in diaspora. Okay. Reformed.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good reformed
love.
Edo citizens in diaspora. So RICI. So we're gonna be able to get ourselves together as a group, as an impact group. Okay, Reform the Edo Citizens in Diaspora Impact Group. Okay, we're going to be able to, dialogue, speak from one voice in a situation like this where we have a candidate or a governor who is doing excellent, performing, meeting up to the international standards, not violating human rights. We all need to come together now and have a very solid voice, a strong movement. Okay, where I know deep down in your heart you are in support of Godwin Obaseki. Okay,
he's a good man. I have no reason to hate him. He's a good man, absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure you might not, be fully comfortable with his politics, but you are comfortable with his policies.
Of course,
policies is government. Politics is the pre. Politics come before policies. Okay.
Right. He knows how to govern.
He knows how to govern. So
that's the
reason why we're all, so much involved, because his policies are just unbelievable. They are unbelievably great. But the politics, considering the national chairman and who happens to be the former governor, is the only person, creating these road bumps. But I know, Obaseki, where is it? Okay. 4 + 4 = 8.
4 + 4 = Togba. Togba. I'm saying it.
So okay. We're running out of time now. I know we've been here for quite some time.
This has been great, man.
Yeah, they are they are attacking my network.
They're attacking your network.
Yes, I got a lot from my network. So it's okay. Regardless, they cannot stop us. We're moving. So we're encouraging all PFM members worldwide. All PFM members, please go ahead and like Edo Citizens in Diaspora. We're going to become reformed Edo Citizens in Diaspora. And our goal pretty much is to bring all Edo people together, irrespective of your culture, what if you're from
political affiliation. Doesn't matter the politics.
We've been friends for a while now. We're almost like brothers. I really don't know the village you're from.
What
was that?
I said, no, I'm joking.
You go to work at
Ugboko no ma buy.
Ijeme o the great child la wo. E kalaba we say they will not need.
Yeah, Uzala.
Uzala.
Ipakwa mi je iyeme kere.
Igbagba.
Uzala ra me kere.
Okay. For those who don't know, Kefe is
Uzala.
Uzala, right? Is that Iyeko?
Yeah, Uzala, yeah.
So they can allow
I'm not really sure. It might say, hopefully one of these days behind you.
You gotta make you gotta try to go the next time you go to Nigeria, please. You know, okay.
Yeah, we are trying to do some stuff in the village. You know, my uncles and I, we are working on some stuff in the village there.
Right. So the reason why I brought that up is this: we all need to come together. Then whether you're from Yeku Selu, you are from Yeko Via Oriomo, Ronigbe, or wherever you're from, we're all going to come together as one. Ubokoniro Uzala. Okay, Omorogbe, one of our comrades, just made a comment here that it's Ubokoniro Uzala. So,
okay, no matter there.
Yeah. So, so my
yeah, I mean, look, I think we are all in favor of the development of the state.
Yes.
You know, there are no two ways about it. The state is got to develop, and the state has got to be in the right governing.
Please, if we love what we're doing, please put love and like. So that way, oh yes, love and like. You know, this is one of a kind. We're going to be coming out more like this. Okay, we're going to bring in some other persons in. Omorogbe Osazuwa, who's from Dallas, Texas. You know, Okenfe Liberty, I'm sorry I never had a chance to really introduce you properly. Okenfe Liberty is Felix Liberty's niece, nephew. I'm sorry, not a niece. Felix Liberty nephew. Okenfe grew up at Wire Road by ICE. No, sorry. Yeah, Wire Road by ICE Junction.
Yeah,
right?
Wire Road.
Yeah. So, you know, he's a full
son of the soil.
Just like myself, I grew up in Textile Mill Road. Precisely by Chris Mary Junction, but I'm not going to give you all the exact street. So we are both son of the soil. We, you know, we are now trying to rebuild PFM. So all PFM members, those of you who have contacted me in the past, I got your database, we got your numbers. The WhatsApp group, we're not going to share yet. So those of you who call me, when you call, we'll be adding your name to the group. You know, like I said, there will be no T-shirt sales. We're not going to be selling any T-shirt like the short man from Dallas was doing. You know, we're not going to be selling any T-shirt, right?
Man, this is going to be different, man. This is different.
This is going to be different. We're not going to be,
and we're going to try. We're going to try as much as.
You remember how we're going to selling ID card to our brothers and sisters who are in the refugee camp in Europe, you know.
Oh
so
Lord!
Selling them ID cards.
I
story tell me time I went here. Refugee camp immigration officer no Europe ni ID card or here.
Oh God.
I bet money. You know what we do? You know a deal like card. But only go your handicap. $250.
Wow.
$250.
Yeah, you go. But anyway, so that's not about him.
Are you Louisiana? Okay, tell us, are you Louisiana? You have Tete. Oklahoma, sorry.
Oh man, this is crazy. Okay.
But no, we're just gonna, you know. So we're gonna bring our.
But I think. Let me quickly say this before we
Hmm?
before you end this broadcast.
Yeah.
I think that what we're trying to do
Yeah.
is that this is going to be free of the politics.
Right. Right.
Because in a lot of organizations, when they start forming and doing one or two things, the
Mm.
politics, the politics tends to make things go sideways,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And even though I said something earlier that the Edo political system is all
Mm-hmm.
built on sentiment, which I believe the current government is trying to also do away with and whatnot.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's also something that we're going to try to do here as well in terms of
Mm.
doing away with sentimentality and just looking at things the way it should be.
Right.
But don't get it. But I don't think people should get it twisted. It doesn't mean that when it
Mm-hmm.
comes time to handle business, we're not going to be able to handle business.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We're going to be able to handle business. Don't get it
Right.
twisted.
Right.
That's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then on another note, for now, it seems that the issues between the governor and the APC national chairman has just gone,
Mm.
way above what anybody can do, right? So
Right.
I'm not even sure what the outcome of the election is going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems up in the air, but as I've always said,
Mm-hmm.
of course, we have mistakes made. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kind of almost the same thing that happened to Ambode in Lagos. He
Mm-hmm.
made a bunch of mistakes trying to go against Dagaban, and then we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going to happen now with this election, right? I think the only thing is that we can only hope for the best
Right. Right.
at this point in time.
Okay. So, well, we're going to be ending the broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Um, we're going to be coming back. We're not able to really hit the main topics today. We've not been able to really hit the nail on the head, but at least we've been
We
able
have
to
time.
have
We got
we've been
time.
able to have a framework, right? We can call it a
Hmm.
framework where
Hmm.
we're creating this ideology or a way of reasoning. Okay,
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day.
it was not built in a day. So we're going to be coming back. If you're watching us for the first time, please go ahead, share the broadcast, like it, follow us on Facebook, you know, go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, I thank you for coming. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. So for click the bell icon so that way you get notifications whenever we come in. But we're gonna have to finish this topic perhaps another day, and we're gonna be adding a third person. Okay, we're gonna be
Hmm.
adding
Hmm.
one of our brother,
Cool.
Omorogbe
Bringing
Ostad.
a model guy. Okay,
We can
yeah,
also
let's do it. Let's do it.
we can bring in Abiyayiwa Edokia with it. That way we have a female
Hmm.
perspective. What do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's do it one at
Yeah,
a
we
time. Let's
should,
let's get it. Let's make it happen.
she's currently one of our admin at Reform the Those Citizens in Diaspora. Okay, we're going
Hmm.
to be bringing her on board, and so that way we can fully have you know come together and support good governance and support Governor Godwin
Hmm. Hmm.
Obaseki and make sure that Godwin Obaseki returns for the second term. Right? So, Okenfe, just a
All
minute.
right, my brother.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you on board.
Same
Uh,
here. Let's do something for the state, man.
yes, if you have other contributions, go ahead and tell them what you got. So other than
No,
that,
no, no. I think as this things goes on, people will learn a few
mhm,
things about me in terms of what I've been doing and what I've done in the past and the political campaigns, working in the Obama campaign and my student government and all that. So one at a time. Eventually, we'll definitely get there.
yeah,
No rush.
like I said, I've not done
Patience.
a formal introduction of you. They need to.
Hmm.
Our people need to know that you were once a city council candidate in the city of
Candidate.
New York,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yep, yep. I remember that. So, and you were very much influential in those states. What is it called? I mean, in Obama's administration, when Obama was running as a president, you were the campaign director in Minneapolis then, right? One of the
I did some campaign work in Minnesota. I was one of the organizers.
Yes. So I'm really, happy to have you on board, and we're going to be having more of this discussion. And next time when we come back again, we're going to build more on reformed Edo citizens in diaspora and how we can build our group, our impact group, and also assist the governor. So thank you all. We're going to be ending the broadcast now.
All right.
It's a blessing.
All right, man. Take care, everybody. Bye.
So thank you all. Courage, come here. Let me bring my son. Courage, come here. Come here, Courage. No, not Courage. Just Courage. Courage, come here. Come under the table. What happened? Hold up. I'm gonna show you guys my son that. Wait. You want daddy? Wait. No. Put him. Let him come from here. Just wait. Courage. That's my son that gives me a lot of headache. All right. Courage, come here. Come. Yeah, come and see daddy. Come here, Courage. Come here.
Purchase your tracks today.
Here's the guy that's been. There's the guy who gives me a hard time when I'm doing a broadcast here. Right? Say hi. Hi. All right. No. You guys go. Go. You guys haven't taken a shower. You can't be on the broadcast, okay? All right. Love you all. Take care now.